Your name is Louie Pastor.
Morning, Louie Pastor. With all due respect for the man of the cloth, I'm actually the first pastor in Johnny's life. A famous Greek philosopher, not Aristotle, not Socrates, a guy named John Papadakis has said constantly, only teams win. And when I read that, my interface with that philosopher as well as with Mr. Featherstone. Can I sit down here? My legs are giving out. The thing about John, and you've heard everything, was teams only win if you have a certain dynamics in there. He's always been the dynamic, whether the team is a family, football team, etc. And I'll give you the Reader's Digest version. When I went out for football at El Camino, I was what they call a balanced part of the team. But John always made you feel like you were the most important guy on the team, whether you were an intellectual like Mark D'Ambrosi, and you guys that know Mark will get that, or a small guy like me. And one thing he always kept telling me was, keep plugging, just keep plugging. And I, survived 2-a-days and everything else. When I was at the toilet, he'd come up and say, just keep plugging. Louie, just keep plugging. And it got me to the University of Texas, El Paso, and I actually got to go out for pro football. It was the World Football League, but it was still pro football. And I thought, while I was out there running with these guys, I thought, keep plugging, just keep plugging. Years later, after I got cut from the pros, I told people they weren't paying me enough, but I got into rugby. And John knew I was into rugby, and he said, you're going to do well at rugby. You're going to do well at rugby. Fast forward, in the last 4 or 5 years, my team, not me, actually has taken 4 division titles and second in state 2 years ago. So the one thing I always remember about John is not only the phrase about keep plugging. It's not only about teams, football, rugby, or whatever, volleyball, family. It's about life. And now that I have 4 grandkids, they get tired of me saying, keep plugging, keep plugging. The only time I was compared with John Featherstone was in 1968 El Camino locker room. A guy named John Lissy, Dennis Higgins, a bunch of guys were talking and saying, who's the smallest guy on the team? And they looked at me and they said, are you bigger than Feather? And I go, no. I said, I think I'm smaller. And they go, nah, you're not that small. And I said, yeah, I'm smaller than Feather. And they said, we bet you can't get into that locker. Right? So I got in the locker and I said, see, as I heard the thing go click. That's the first time I believed my team were a bunch of assholes. God bless you, Feather, and the family. Thank you.